The school year is going by way too fast.
I can't believe in just a few months, I'll be a junior. It feels like I just started high school.
Yeah, and I'm graduating next year.
Aw, I'll miss you.
Let's not stress so much about the future and focus on our current goals.
I agree. 2023 is going to be our year.
My goal is to be more studious and accomplish in my academics.
Now I want to learn how to drive.
We can talk more about this later. Let's start the show. I'm Afiq.
And I'm Eli.
Welcome to show 14.
The UCLA blood drive hosted by SMW on Tuesday was a success. 62 units of blood was collected. That amount of blood can save up to 186 lives. Thank you to all those who donated and to SMW for hosting the drive.
A variety of new laws passed by California's Legislative Assembly will come into effect January 1st, which, if you haven't noticed, has already passed. Let's take it to Robert to give us a deeper look at how these laws might affect you.
With the governor of California having signed a variety of new laws set to come into effect beginning this year, it may be a bit overwhelming at first glance. With laws ranging from the legalization of jaywalking to the introduction of food permits for street vendors, there's going to be a lot to cover in the next 2 minutes. In 2017, the state of California passed a law raising the minimum wage based on the rate of inflation. In 2022, it was $15, but in 2023, it was increased another 50 cents statewide. Although some counties have different regulations, raising it even more. For example, LA County's minimum wage is now $15.96. Crossing the street is one of the necessary things to, well, get around town. And sometimes, if the road is empty, you really don't see the need to wait. You just cross. Last year, we called this illegal and give you a ticket for jaywalking. But now in 2023, jaywalking has become legalized, as long as a reasonably careful person would realize there is an immediate danger of a collision at an undesignated crosswalk.
SB 972 is aimed at streamlining the health permitting process for compact mobile food operations, or street vendors as we'd call them. They plan to achieve this by means such as the creation of pre-approved blueprints, the deregulation of certain food preparation techniques, as well as the decriminalization of certain violations of the California Retail Food Code.
Because of its mobility, trying to find them and track them down, that's a real problem. And the health officials are already understaffed as it is. And when you add a larger number of these people with either food carts or food trucks and ask for that same kind of enforcement, you're going to have a problem on your hands in terms of being able to check them, regulate them, and enforce them, because many of them are such small, literally mom and pop businesses who are there just trying to survive in some cases.
To combat the LA homelessness crisis, the Los Angeles County Homelessness Initiative has proposed a budget of $595.5 million, with 45% going into permanent housing. In the state of California, we got some new holidays: Lunar New Year, Armenian Genocide Remembrance Day, Juneteenth, and Native American Day. Be sure to keep all these new regulations in mind to keep yourself from legal troubles. This has been Robert. Stay safe, Apaches.
The AHS Marching Band and Color Guard will be hosting their 56th annual spaghetti dinner on Saturday the 21st at 5 p.m., 7 p.m., and 9 p.m. in the North Gym. Tickets are $15 from any band or Color Guard member, or $18 at the door. Support your fellow Apaches while slurping on some delicious spaghetti.
Pasadena Humane is a non-profit organization that works with stray animals in order to find them a new and loving home. Let's go to Aaron to find out what you can do to help with this local organization.
As the new year begins, you and your family might be looking to adopt a new four-legged friend, or maybe you're even trying to find some place to volunteer during your free time. If so, there's no better place to volunteer or adopt than the Pasadena Humane. Pasadena Humane, founded in 1903, has been the go-to animal shelter in the San Gabriel Valley, providing rehabilitation to pets and helping them find their forever homes. Caring for over 80-plus pets, people looking to adopt a new pet are met with many options ranging from a small guinea pig to a large dog. Here is Maylin Ascension to talk more about the adoption process.
The adoption process has been a little bit different nowadays, post-COVID. So what we do now is by appointment only. To be as humane as possible, we found that during COVID times, having a set consultation time, 45 minutes here, is a little bit less stressful for animals. So we would suggest, if you do want to adopt an animal, go ahead and make an appointment online at pasadenahumane.org. There are a couple of requirements. First, that you are 18 years of older, or be accompanied by a guardian who is 18 years of older. You must have housing, and you must provide evidence that you can provide for this animal.
But adoption is not the only option. at Pasadena Humane. The shelter provides many different volunteer options for all ages and skill sets, so we decided to talk to Chris Briffett for more information on volunteering at the shelter.
So it's actually very easy. Any prospective volunteers would just go to our website to the volunteer page, and we have a link for people to submit an application. And the application itself takes about 7 to 8 minutes, asks for basic information. You upload a photo and a COVID card, and that's basically it.
So whether you're looking to adopt a pet or volunteer in order to help these loving animals and maybe even boost your college resume, make sure to visit Pasadena Humane's website at pasadenahumane.org to see what you can do. This has been Aaron, and now let's go back to the anchors in the studio.
If you're interested in joining Arcadia's volleyball team, make sure to get to the prelim boys tryouts on January 28th. Don't forget to be athletically cleared before showing up to the North Gym.
With the new year comes New Year resolutions. However, it's easier said than done. Jacob set it to find new ways on how you can uphold your big promise.
Happy New Year! It's finally 2023, and with the new year comes a new you. Many people see the new year as an opportunity to better themselves and improve on old habits. But what happens when the ball drops and the enthusiasm fades? Well, statistically, almost all of you should have failed last Friday on January 13th, also unofficially known as Koetters Day. And according to a Forbes Health study in 2020, 55% of Americans were able to keep their New Year's resolution. For less than a year though. Even worse, only 19% were able to last more than a month with their new promises. People understand why they give up their New Year's resolutions. An Urban Plate study found that 35% of Americans were simply not motivated enough to continue pursuing their resolutions. Another 19% were too busy, and another 18% had to shift their priorities, and 28% had different reasoning. These stats are concerning, but it's okay if you're among them. We have Miss Bishrot, a former ABBA teacher, to tell us more about how we can improve.
So when thinking about setting goals for the new year, it's important to think about goals that have been lingering for a while, something that you've always wanted to attain, and to not overstretch yourself too thin by wanting to achieve, 5 or 7 different goals all at once. Just take one goal at a time.
We're all human beings. We all have flaws and intricacies that can be changed and honed for the better. 2023 is a time for change. Let's make the most of what we can. Even if you already gave up your New Year's resolution, it's never too late to start again.
Hey Eli, are you still committed to your New Year's resolution?
I've kind of been slacking on driver's ed recently, but I'll be back on track soon.
Well, hopefully our Apaches are also on track. Let's see what their resolutions are.
Take my vitamins every day, and it's been going great.
I want a boyfriend, a happy, healthy relationship.
To learn how to ride a bike, because I never learned that when I was a kid.
Improve my working and stuff, because I work as a barista and a cashier.
It's to make a Quizlet of every new thing I learned and then a review at the end of the year, and I got 50 terms so far. I'm gonna forget about it by next week, but it's going well.
It's to be a better person.
To sleep by 12, and it's going really terribly. Last night I slept at 1.
I joined the football team, and I want to get skinny.
To get a girlfriend, and it's going okay.
To be kinder to the students and not put any students in jail. Just kidding.
So what did you do over your 3-day weekend, Afiq?
I was just relaxing mostly, just enjoying my time out from school.
I'm assuming most of us did, but while we're relaxing, our Apache sports teams have been continuing to train hard over the weekend.
Oh, by the way, did you catch the doubleheader basketball games last Friday?
Friday? I was already on my vacation at that time.
Man, you should have been there. It was a tough game, but I heard both teams are fighting hard to come back and be even stronger after the unfortunate loss.
It looks like their training paid off on Tuesday's game.
Oh really? I wasn't able to catch up with that game, but luckily we have Ethan to tell us all about it, as well as all the other amazing sports games of the week.
That's right. In this week's packed edition of Apache Sports, we've got a recap of our boys basketball and soccer games against Glendale on Tuesday, along with an overview of the special award ceremony dedicated to the girls golf team as the CIF Division I champions. But before we get ahead of ourselves, let's first satisfy Afiq's curiosity by having Karthik recount the boys basketball game.
Thanks, Ethan. On Tuesday, our boys basketball team played an exhilarating game against Glendale, restarting our win streak for the season. Although our boys haven't always had the best luck on the court, they certainly showed up to succeed this time around. Coming back from a loss on Friday, the team showed their strength against Glendale. Despite starting the game cold, they heated up at the beginning of the second quarter to take control of the game. The game finished with a final score of 58-70. improving their league record to 15 wins and 8 losses. Congratulations and good luck on today's game against Burbank. Now, back to Ethan in the studio.
Last week on Tuesday, our prestigious and unmatched girls golf team were all presented with the awards in light of their victory of the CIF Division I Championship. Los Angeles County District Supervisor Catherine Barger was even present during this auspicious ceremony. What an honor for our school, and congratulations again to our girls golf athletes. Unfortunately, our weeks can't always be filled with highlights, and sometimes our most capable teams aren't able to secure a win. Let's go to Josh to take an in-depth look at the tough loss the boys soccer team had this Tuesday against Glendale.
Thanks, Ethan. This past Tuesday, our boys soccer team played a tough game. They met their match against Glendale in a game that took an unexpected turn. Following up from a 4-0 loss against Crescenta Valley last Friday, the Apaches were going into this game looking for redemption. It was a tough and exhausting first half, with lots of back-and-forth plays from both teams and excellent saves from the keepers on both sides. They managed to keep the game level for a while, ending the first half with no goals scored from either side. In the second half, however, Glendale picked up the pace. Our Apaches fought hard, but unfortunately were unable to stop Glendale from scoring 3 goals, losing the match with a final score of 3-0. Although it was a tough loss for our Apaches, we're sure they'll come back much stronger for the next game. This has been Josh, back to Ethan in the studio.
While it's unfortunate that our boys weren't able to get the win against Glendale, let's hope they can make a comeback in today's game against Burbank. Now, let's take a look at how other sports teams performed this week. On Tuesday, our girls water polo team won their game against Glendale 17-6. The girls basketball team lost to Glendale 40-50, and the girls soccer team beat Glendale in a blowout with a final score of 6-0. Yesterday, the girls water polo team won against Burbank in a final score of 20-8 on their senior night. Well, it looks like that's about it for this week's sports. If you missed our live stream of girls water polo game against Burbank yesterday, be sure to check it out on our website at apachesports.ausd.net. This has been Ethan Chen reporting Apache Sports for the week. Back to the anchors at the desk.
I just thought of another resolution to work towards.
Oh, what is it?
I want a new set for APN. I'm tired of this backdrop.
Didn't we raise money for that last year?
We didn't raise nearly enough, though.
Huh. I wonder how we can get that type of money, though.
We'll save that for next show.
Well, that wraps it up for today. Make sure to follow all of our social media links down below.
I'm Eli.
And I'm Afiq.
Well, see you next time, Apaches.